What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Backtrack Cinema. We are live again, everyone. My name is Jason, and we are going to be doing a deep dive into Masters of the Universe, the latest movie, spoiler discussion. So, if you haven't seen the movie, you might want to jet out. We're going to talk all the spoilers and go back. And I got my good friend here, guys. You would have saw him on our old channel as we watched the original Masters of the Universe together. My good buddy Chris Feldhouse here from TikTok as this is the end all be all He-Man guy. Um, this is gonna be a great conversation, Chris. So how are you, man?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm very good. Yeah, I just had to have you on. I know, man. Well, I've had the channel for 4 years, so it's been at least 4 years since we've hooked up and gotten together. So, you're like the big He-Man guy. So I just want to know, like, what did you think? What did you think? What are this overall thoughts of the new movie?
So I absolutely loved it. And what's funny about this, Jason, because I know we've talked a little bit on Messenger and stuff, but when we had originally seen the trailer and we had spoken, you were not sold and
No.
you were very, very hesitant about this movie. And I kept on like kind of like being like, man, come on, dude, like give it a chance. I really think it's going to be good. And I was so happy to hear after you saw it that your opinion had changed on the whole thing, because I really think, like we've both spoken about, it's just a good, fun popcorn movie, like from the like 80s or 90s that we don't get much anymore.
Dude, ever since I've watched this movie, and I'm not kidding you, I've been going to the movies more, or I've been wanting
Nice.
to. I
Yeah.
went and saw it a second time. It just made me feel like, wow, this is how we chewed on the entertainment at the theater. Except for I was the only one cheering. I was the only one it was very small. There was only about 20 people there, but I was laughing like when no one else was, and I'm just like, okay, what's wrong with the modern audience here? I'm like, this is the way it's like it felt like when I saw Batman in '89.
Yeah.
It had that just wow, what a we haven't had Hollywood, you finally learned to have fun at the movies again,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. I'll tell you what, the first time my son and I went on opening day, well, true opening day, which was like Friday, because it originally opened on like Wednesday, like the pre-screenings or whatever. And the theater was full, but I will tell you what, we had some good cheers, we had some good reactions. Me living in Oklahoma, whenever they made the comment about Adam landing in Oklahoma City, the whole theater cheered very loudly, which was really fun. And so we had some very good reactions on that first viewing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But I was like, I actually sat back in my chair, had my leg up, and was just grinning because I'm like you just said, the trailers didn't sell me. I was just like, I don't know. And I think Amazon could have done a better job on the marketing for the
Yeah,
like. I don't think they cut very good trailers together. I think a lot of people said, oh, I don't know about this, right? Could I have wanted I still would like to see a grittier version of this story, like
right.
of this universe, but what they did, I'm fine with. You know what? You know, I laughed, I cheered, and I thought I had a good heartfelt message.
Yeah.
At the at well, we're gonna talk about it, but in a nutshell, it's about a boy becoming a man. This
Yeah.
is He-Man's origin story. This is not his he's not He-Man yet. He's not the man yet. He
Yeah.
becomes this man. And you remember from the cartoon, Adam was playing this facade of an immature, irresponsible um boy. And I think with this when they if they do a second one, which we'll get into with the box office stuff, but if they do a second one, I think I want to see him. I want a little bit. I want it to be the darkest one, not dark,
Absolutely.
dark, but dark in this tone,
Yes.
and him becoming more of a man, like him becoming that man, kind of like that. Maybe even have him a little bigger, have him his voice drop a little lower, you know. But it's yeah, I was floored. I was floored. I was just like, I can't believe this movie was this good. And the big reviewers, the ones that mean something to me anyway, have all been shocked. They're like, "Wow, what a fun movie!" Because we all
Absolutely.
gonna bomb. Well, I knew it would. I knew it was gonna bomb in the sense of financial, but it didn't. But it didn't bomb. Not with the fans. It didn't. The
Yeah,
last time
no,
I checked on
absolutely.
The last time I checked on Rotten Tomatoes, it's in 88%.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's still sitting there, but yeah, it's crazy, crazy fun time. Like it's just little boy dreams coming true. This is we say hi to everyone here. Antonis, what's going on, buddy? He says, "Hey Jason, what's up, man?" Hey Steph, what's going on, girl? He said hi. She says hi, Antonis. Hi, Jason. She says hi, Chris.
hello.
Paula Fitzhenry, what's going on? Yeah, so guys, this is gonna be spoilers. We're gonna like deep dive into this, but first, let's talk about let's go back to our childhood, the toys, the cartoon and our love for it. I know that this started with the toys first and they made the cartoon after. Am I not correct about that, Chris?
You are 100% correct. If I recall, I was probably, Christmas of, let's say, 83 or so. I woke up with a absolute stocked Christmas tree. Unwrapped the presents. It was everything from He-Man to Man-at-Arms to Castle Grayskull to Skeletor, Beastman. I mean, I got a lot of the core figures that year for Christmas, and then that started my obsession.
Right, right. I remember watching it. So in '83 when it come out, I was 4. I probably did watch it then, but my earliest memories of were always Scooby Doo. Um, and like my 3 favorite cartoons were Popeye, Scooby Doo, and He Man. Those were the cartoons I loved the most. But my mom, when I was around, I want to say 8 years old, 8 or 9, my mom hit a yard sale. So this would have been 88, 89. So this is when He-Man was well after its run. And she found everything at a yard sale. She paid hardly nothing for it. So I had Grayskull, I had Cringer, I had all of it. They're all used, but man, I set them all up and I was just like, I still wish I kept that Grayskull. I honestly do. I don't know, like when you get older, you're like, what happened to all that stuff? Why did I get rid of it? Or my mom got rid of it or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
so I've got even a better one for you. So whenever I grew out of toys and my friends and I became, a little bit older, we decided that we weren't into toys anymore. So we put firecrackers in everything and we blew everything up, which I regret to this day because now I've obviously collected everything back that I had then.
um yeah, I know that we're both collectors, I got a bunch of Aliens and Predator and Friday the 13th as our good mutual friend who I run Friday the 13th Society with Jeff and Holly and Becky, our mutual friend Becky here. We're big Friday fans, but um yeah, I got tons of this stuff and I think, He-Man's just I don't actually have any He-Man stuff, but I think I'm gonna get the Walmart stuff while this movie's this hot.
Absolutely, yeah.
Um um Let me see here. Kiss My Grit says the movie failed to attract the quadrant audience, specifically Gen Z, and that's largely a failure of marketing. They should have focused more on the dollars on YouTube and TikTok marketing. Perhaps, perhaps. I mean, who knows what it's gonna do? I mean, we're gonna get into it here, but the cartoon, Chris. I mean, I haven't watched it in years myself, right? But I could still hum the music in it.
Right.
It's so iconic, that cartoon music. My kids, I tried getting them into it when they're younger, but it just doesn't resonate with them like
Right.
at all. But but yeah, the cartoon I think is pretty fantastic. I wish they would have had that shot in this movie. I'm
I
hoping in
wish
the
they would have had that, and I wish they would have done the Cringer transformation, but I'm sure we'll get into that as well.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, the cartoon was just fantastic. I just loved it, and when I was thinking about what they needed to do with this movie, I was like, I just hoping there was because there was always a message at the end with He-Man.
Yeah,
You know, there was and then we got that shot at the end of the movie with Orko saying, um, you know, it's not always being a man's not always about muscles, and I think that's I know some people are throwing the word woke out there. There's nothing woke about this movie.
there is nothing woke about this movie. I'm a little burnout on the whole like woke thing because people look for it now and then they try to make everything woke, and there was nothing woke about this movie.
No, this is a movie about this was a movie about uh um what is a role model as a man, and what's a toxic like Skeletor is representing toxic masculinity essentially, right? And at the end of the day, and this is about a boy who becomes a man, but a kind of man who's like what I love about Travis Knight did is that he's like when he's saying like okay, let's talk about this, when he tries to talk to Skeletor, and then then he says, well, no, and then Skeletor's like, I'll take that talk now, and he goes, no, the time for talk is over.
Absolutely, yeah.
How's that? That's not woke. That is
No.
that's like, oh no, now it's time to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I gave you your chance and you rejected. Yeah. So,
For sure, for sure. Let's see what else we got. Um, the movie was far from woke. In fact, it mocked woke. It did. We'll get into that scene too near the end.
yeah.
Specifically, all the human resources lessons Adam was taught on Earth, which proved to be worthless. You took the words right out of my mouth. You took the words out of my mouth. When Skeletor's freaking pounding the weights and he's got the hoodie and he's like, "Hey boy," he's like,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, that was like they're actually poking fun at woke. That's one thing we were talking about. But yeah, the let's talk about the 87 movie for a bit. Like
Yeah.
just a tiny bit because there it actually has a little bit of importance because we get a cameo from Dolph.
Right.
And I want to show this picture here. The character on the left. Did you notice him in the movie?
Karg. That is
Yeah,
Karg. So
right.
Karg was supposedly a fill in for Trapjaw, which I don't see any resemblance to Karg and Trapjaw, except for the fact that they both have a hook that they carry. But I guess for whatever reason, they couldn't pull the Trapjaw thing off. So they put Karg in there. And here we are.
Right, right. Now, as a kid, I loved the 87 movie. I really
Yeah.
did. My dad took me to the theater to see it. I didn't even have a problem with them being on Earth. I was a huge Rocky Four fan, obviously. So this scene, Dolphin or Ivan Drago, as I called him back then,
Yeah.
as He-Man, I was eating it up. And there's something in common that both movies have. Both of them have a great score. Both of them have a great Skeletor. That's
Yes.
one thing
Absolutely.
I will not take away Frank Langella's performance at all. I think he was great in that
He's
movie.
amazing
Probably,
in that movie.
um, but we didn't really get Eternia.
Right.
Um, we didn't get a lot of things this new movie provided. But I mean, there is some nostalgia. Like, do you still go back to this movie from '87?
I do. I've actually, I mean, of course, you and I revisited it a couple years ago or whatever. But I literally watch this movie at least once a year, and I always get a kick out of it. I watched it after I went and saw the new He-Man again, and it actually made me enjoy it a little bit more just because of all the tie-ins. Even though I
Right.
already had a fond memory of it, it made me like it even more.
Yeah, it did have some pretty cool stuff, especially the good journey. You know, he
Yeah.
says good journey, and he's talking about there's this meta approach where he's just handing the battalion to, oh, I don't know the actor's name, but the new guy who plays He-Man.
Nicholas Galitzine.
Yeah, another guy was not. I was did have no. I was like, I don't know. Is can this guy do it? But he did it. He characterized Prince Adam. He's more of Prince Adam really than he is anything in this. It's like an origin story, right?
Agreed.
There's a 4K version of the '87 movie that is coming out in September, which will feature a never be seen before preview cut that only test audiences saw. Oh, I'm sold. I'm buying it.
I'm
I,
absolutely buying it. Yes. Yes.
uh, thanks, kiss my grits. That's awesome.
Also, Kiss My Grits, if you didn't know, they are finally re releasing the 2000X series on Blu ray. It's available through Amazon right now. It's like $47 or something. And that series has been out of print on DVD or Blu ray for a long time. So if you're looking for that, that's coming out as well.
All right. All right. Let's just get into this movie here, man. Let's just get into this movie here. But I want to talk about the box office a bit. We're sitting at 102 million now worldwide. So got a long way to go.
Yeah, about
Especially if you
half the budget there.
yeah, not even that if you take marketing and if you take the theater it takes half the ticket sales,
Yeah.
right? Um so see, a lot of people, I don't know if they know that that's the way it works. And someone told me in China, they take 75% of the ticket sales.
Wow.
So there's a lot more going on. Like when they say, "Oh yeah, it made its money," but no, no, it's still got a lot more to climb. Even when
Yeah.
a movie is successful. But you have to have a big budget for this. That's the problem with the '87 movie. They didn't know how to. They didn't throw enough money at it, and they throw a lot of money at this. It really breaks my heart, though, that people are not going to see this. It breaks my heart that they're not giving another IP a chance. Um, and I get it. I get it if you're not from our generation, but but even fantasy movies are a hard sell. I think Amazon knew this was going to be a hard sell, and I think they just wanted to cut a piece of the road out and say, okay, if we can just get close, if we can get people excited again about this character, these things. Let's just try that. I think it's going to make a killing on streaming personally, and we'll see where it
Absolutely.
goes from there. But it's this is a long term game, I think. So, what do you think about the what Amazon's thinking?
So I definitely think that Amazon, I definitely think they're planning on a lot of um, subscriptions happening in general whenever this movie happens. And I mean, as everybody knows, if you sign up for a subscription, you tend to forget about it. You tend to forget about it for a few months. That's more money in their pocket. They also are thinking of some more sequels for streaming. They're also thinking about some series for streaming. So I think they're really concentrating on the IP for Masters of the Universe moving forward and not just focusing on this movie alone.
Yeah, that's true. And who knows? Like, there's already talks now that, or at least things on the internet people are throwing out, of getting Thundercats made.
I would
So
love
there's
that.
yeah, that was another one I watched. I watched Brave Star, Thundercats, all these things, and I think if this is successful, and we got another, I don't know if you know this, but Arnold's coming back for King Conan, which fits
I
into the
would love to
fantasy
see that.
that fits into the fantasy realm.
Yeah,
Not like this tone, but still, it's a fantasy. This was a fun for the whole family. That's
yeah,
that's what it was. Although my middle son, he was this like I didn't like the Earth stuff, Dad, but I liked when he got back to Eternia, and I go, well, that's why I didn't want to spend too much time there. I get that. And my youngest just thought it was a tad too long. He was just like, I liked it, but a tad too long, right?
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think Amazon has a good plan, and all I could say is I did my part. I went twice. And like you went 3 times. I would go again, honestly, but
yeah,
and it looks like they're still keeping it in the theater. So, and it does not look like Supergirl is gonna do well.
yeah.
So maybe I don't want to see Supergirl do bad. I'm just saying maybe okay, let's just go see the He-Man movie if
Yeah.
this movie's lousy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm hearing a lot of people say it's just kind of okay. That was okay. Like the humor's not landing, and it's just I don't know. It just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because even someone like me who was not impressed by the trailers when I watched the movie and went, "Oh my, I can't believe they did it." Travis Knight did it. He made my favorite Transformers movie, and now he's made my favorite, like one of my favorite cartoons as a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a lot of people know this. He's the son of the co-founder of Nike shoe.
I did not know that until this movie came out, and then they were talking about the Nike symbol on workout Skeletor and the
Yeah,
connection there, and I was like, well, there we go, that makes sense.
um, that's funny. Kiss My Grits says, "Yep, already pre-order it." Awesome.
Nice.
He says Amazon is going all in on 80s nostalgia. Other than Masters of the Universe, they're giving us Voltron next year. And
Yep.
he recently
Henry
announced a
Cavill.
reboot of Gem and the Holograms. Oh, didn't
Ah,
know that. Didn't know that. But yeah, I think Amazon, and like I've told you, I don't know if everyone else knows this. Amazon made 72 billion in ad revenue alone last year. 170 million for a movie that they knew was not going to make their money back. They knew that. I don't think they would have made it if they were. I don't think they would have put that money up. They go, no, this is just the first step. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Everyone is all about Spider-Man and Marvel and DC, Star Wars. These things sell themselves, right? Well, this is like you're bringing back something from the dead, and that's a lot harder to do. And I think they realize that. And I kind of like the business model they're doing. And there's already comic books out that continues this story.
yeah.
That
Actually, hold on.
did you
I
get them?
literally, I literally just got it today. It's the first
Wait,
issue of Wings of Fate. It follows the movie, and there are 4 issues.
yeah, you'll have to let me know how that is.
I will.
Um, It's Kiss by Grit says people don't understand that Amazon's movie business doesn't follow the standard Hollywood model. If they can't find a movie that keeps consumers in their ecosystem, like Masters Universe, they'll keep funding it. No, they're a different animal. They're a different beast, and I have a lot of faith in them. I'm glad Mike Flanagan. I'm a big Mike Flanagan fan. He went over to Amazon. He went and one of the reasons was Netflix doesn't do physical media,
That's
and
crazy.
Amazon's just gonna like like I have an Amazon subscription. I like that, especially all those old cartoons they have. They have MGM, they have all sorts of things on there.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think we are going to get a sequel. It may take a year or two to get it greenlit. We may have to wait 2 or 3 years, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that as long as they give us something awesome. But I think we'll talk about the end what we'd like to see
yeah,
in a sequel. I mean, obviously, we're gonna want to see Shira, right? And I think that's the game plan. Shira
yeah.
would be in the second movie. But so let's start off with that prologue, man. I mean, I was jacked. The moment Critter was the MGM line, and then that Brian May guitar, unmistakable. I know I could hear it anywhere. I go, that's Brian May, and I didn't
Yeah,
even know he did the music yet. I didn't know
yeah,
he was one of the. I go, that's Brian May. That's Queen. Like that's a Queen sounding thing. And then I went, this guy. If you don't like this movie, if people don't like this movie, please tell me you downloaded the score or I put it on Spotify. This is one of the best scores I have heard in years. Like,
so I like to compare, like, okay, when Star Wars Episode 1 came out and Duel of the Fates was like the main Darth Maul song, I listened to that song on repeat like crazy. Ever since this score has come out, I have listened to it. I've driven Erica crazy with this thing. Like, I have listened to it on repeat because I cannot get enough of the Brian May and Daniel, what's his name?
uh,
Daniel.
his name escapes me. I just want.
Permenton, or I can't remember, but that score is literally amazing.
Yeah, I just watched a thing with him, and they said they let him go nuts.
Yeah,
They let him go nuts, and he just man, when you listen to it on its own, it's good too.
yeah,
It just doesn't just work in the movie. the drums and everything's very epic sounding, and you got that Flash Gordon style, like that Queen rock opera in it, and it's
Yeah,
just I love absolutely love the score, even when it has the and near the end when they got the original He-Man music from the cartoon, I was just like, "Oh, you put it in there.
yeah,
Thank you so much."
yeah.
It was so good.
Chills, chills.
Yeah, chill. But this prologue explaining the story, or explaining, Adam explaining where he comes from and everything, and him as a boy, and then that whole fight sequence where you get it's pretty long, right? It's quite long before we get the title card.
Yeah,
Like, were you, like, just, like, everything you were watching was just awesome?
I was literally blown away. I mean, the whole thing blew my mind, and then I'm telling you, one of my biggest joys of this movie, and for me, who stole the show, I know a lot of people talk about Skeletor, which I think he stole the show for sure. But Trapjaw, every time Trapjaw
Oh,
hits the screen, I just literally freaked out. It was amazing.
yeah, he was really the main villain other than Skeletor.
Yeah,
They did a lot of focus on him, and I thought he looked great. I thought, him and Man-at-Arms, that fight sequence was just amazing. I like the way Travis Knight's moving the camera around, immersing you in this action. Um, Not so much the beginning, but at the end where you're having the battle right on Grayskull, right in front of Grayskull. Oh, man, I can't tell you. I'm so
yeah.
glad they did that. Like, they actually Grayskull's like a character in this, and
Yeah, and
that's
I
very
also loved how Travis Knight kind of like made everybody's weapons, Trapjaw's Man at Arms. It's almost like a transforming type of thing whenever they go through their weapons. And that was a good little touch to it as well.
yeah, very, very awesome. And then we get the whole story of what happens to Adam and everything when he gets on Earth. I just love that too. Like when he gets on Earth and it's like, so that's how I came here. And the girl's like, I just gotta go to the ladies' room.
Right.
It was awesome. And you see it really is a father son movie, man. It's a great father son movie or father daughter movie because Tila really fits into the puzzle really well. Um, yeah, so we talked the music already, which was this epic. Now, the story and themes. What did you think about how he handled the story and the themes under it?
I thought it was great because, as a kid, Adam thinks that his father is disappointed by him whenever he walks away and he doesn't look back. And Adam is looking for that reassurance. But then as, Adam gains the power and he, goes to try to prove himself and kind of misuses his power and his father suffers because of it. Adam says to his dad, or He-Man says to his dad, he says, he doesn't want him to die because he wants him to see what he's finally become. And his father says, you've always been what I wanted you to be. I was just trying to make you strong for the world that you're about to face. And that was a very touching moment to me because
Yeah,
for somebody like me whose dad was always very hard on them, and like I believe that's the lesson that he was trying to teach me. And as kids we don't always see it, but then we grow up and we go, oh, so you were trying to prepare me for this world that we're about to face. And that I thought was a very strong story point of the movie.
absolutely. And like I said before, I really like like the boy becoming the man.
Yeah,
It's an origin story, right? It's He-Man, it's Prince Adam, like he hasn't become He-Man yet. And when he does, when he has this power, he's like, like he's this it's just funny watching him use it. And he's like, wow, look how strong I am. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I just really love that that arc, how he becomes the man at the end and he's this very strong guy. And I like how, and in the cartoon, he had this facade, right, of Prince Adam, the irresponsible one, his immaturity, and when he becomes He-Man, he changes into a man, like
yeah.
and a man that, you know, that all kids would role model after, and there was always that message through the cartoons all the time. And I mean, this Travis Knight did his homework, man. He
Yeah,
said, "We just can't throw an action spectacle. We have to have heart through this. We have to have, you know, He-Man means something, represent something, right?" And that's in a nutshell for me. That's a boy becoming a man. And
absolutely.
you know, Skeletor is the opposite of that. He's the like, if you want to look at him as a toxic male, or but he's the villain, and unapologetically, you know, the villain, the bad guy. And we'll get into him in a minute. But yeah, and I want to I think the Man at Arms Tila story is really good too.
I thought it was great as well. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's all about failing too. Um, Me being a big Rocky fan, that's what I saw. I saw someone getting knocked down and having to stand back up and
yeah,
face life, and that's, as you know, it's as men, that's what we do, right? We
yeah,
get knocked back. Well, everybody, but you know, I have three boys myself, and you constantly got to show them by leading, right? Show them by, this is how you handle life. This is how you don't give up. And I mean, I just do not see the woke in any of this. Like
yeah,
I see a really heartfelt message. You know what I mean, with the story and the themes, and
yeah,
it's pretty
and
layered story too.
yeah, and even with like Man at Arms, like that first battle with him and Trapjaw, he's very confident and he's strong, and Trapjaw ends up, saying to him, I think it's like, today you fail. And then he knocks him on his ass or
Yeah,
whatnot. And that gets Duncan to the point where he's down and out and he feels like he's lost. And family, his daughter, helps pick him back up, and everybody else, He-Man, and they bring him back to that strong point. And that's another thing about life. Sometimes life knocks you down, but you got to get back up and fight for what you want.
yeah, and she's the one like, she's the one that doesn't really have an arc. She's always been strong, and
Yeah.
she helps all the like, helps Adam and helps her dad Duncan. And I thought Tila was fantastic in this. I thought
Camila
she was.
Mendez is great. It's kind of funny because um, when Mia was young, my daughter, I watched her in Riverdale because she loved Riverdale when she was young. And even as cheesy as that show was, you could tell that that girl was going to be a star.
Yeah, I remember my wife watching that show. Actually, I didn't realize that was her though.
Yeah,
Um, and I think they kept the budget. I think they were able to keep the budget down in a sense that they got a lot of people that at least I didn't know who they were, and
yeah,
I think that was pretty smart, um, on their part, so they could give us Eternia. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Um, like, speaking of Eternia, like, did you have a fit, like, besides Grayskull, I guess, the way it looked and everything? Was there another part of Eternia that you thought just looked fantastic?
I mean, I really just thought the whole thing was designed like a magical place, how Eternia should feel. Um, I wish they would have included a little of the look of the playset, but at the same time, there is a railway system in there that looks like it may have once been part of the playset. I'll have to show it to you sometime. But all in all, I just thought it was an amazing look, and I couldn't have asked for more, really.
Yeah, very colorful, you know,
Yeah,
definitely giving a bright 80s vibe.
Filmation
Um,
by 100%.
and I loved Snake Mountain, and I liked
Snake
how he
Mountain
had.
was great.
Did you see how he had? I mean, it's not the tone is very meta and very comedic, but
Yeah,
when they show you Snake Mountain, he's got skulls on spears and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that tells you right there that Skeletor is just killing and annihilating people. You don't
yeah,
need to show it really. You see it in one image.
yeah. And
And I
that's what
think
I
that was
loved.
great.
They definitely, as like comedic and light-hearted as the movie was at times, there was a lot of darkness to it, and I'm glad that they found a good balance between the two.
Right, right. All right, let me get to some these questions here, or not questions, but thoughts. Kiss My Grit says, "I'd one change I'd make to the prologue. I'd add that King Randor's army once defeated Skeletor prior to Adam being born, and Sorceress cast a spell that imprisoned Skeletor's army in the Dark Hemisphere. That would have been good. Actually, I
Yeah,
agree with you. Probably just budget, right? With this being added to the prologue, Skeletor's surprise attack on Eternos makes some more sense. He destroyed the Source's force field. This would be a nod to 2002 cartoon's origin story. And he says the musical score during the first transformation gave me chills. I may also have shed a few tears because it made me feel like 8 years old again. I want to talk.
absolutely.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just talk about that scene because this is the scene that if I was to if I was to pick 5 scenes for 2026, this has to be here. This has to
Absolutely.
this they did such a good job on this. Something I was, and I'm glad they didn't give away in the trailer. So I can see why they had to hide some things, but he did his homework again, having the light around him, and he just floats up. You know, the what do you call it? The magic happening, the storm coming in, and then the way his clothes disappear. He the Incredible Hulk thing where his
Yeah,
muscles just start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the what do you call it? His
yeah.
armor and everything comes on, and I'm just like, wow.
It
It made
was insane. It was everything it needed to be.
it was epic, man.
Yeah,
Like that's even watching it the second time, I was just like, this is crazy. And the fight scene that happens after is just awesome. Like,
yeah,
because it's a little funny too, right? Because he doesn't know his power. He's like ripping the arm off Trap.
yeah, yeah.
But the way they shot it and everything, it was just like my only qualms. I wish he was a little bigger, like
Yeah.
to feel more of that. But maybe he will be a little bigger in the second one. Maybe they're gonna
So
think about
Jason,
stuff like that.
I was gonna give you a little bit of a hard time, and I was gonna tell you the reason that you wish that he was a little bit bigger is because your favorite action stars are from the '80s, and they're all Stallone and Dolph Lundgren and Arnold. So you wanted that type of person.
I think so. I look at, but even Skeletor, I look at these guys as they were massive. Like in the cartoon, they seemed like they were bodybuilders, like they were that big. Um, but but that doesn't ruin the enjoyment of the film.
Yeah,
Like I go, you because they got Adam not showing any of that. What they did smart was not showing any of his muscles when he's just in the pink shirt. Even when he's in the gym, he's fully clothed. He's not showing any. He's not in a tank top or anything. So I think the effect still works. So it's like,
absolutely. Yeah,
oh wow, he becomes He-Man. Wow. Um, but that's it. Yeah, that scene was so epic. The way they just did that, like I was like, it just made you feel everything. And let's just face it, the music's working on all cylinders. It's driving the heart of this film through
yeah.
the whole thing.
For sure. And I'm telling you, like, your subscriber was talking about that they may have shed a few tears. I think that anybody who has been waiting for this movie, as long as a lot of us have, that first transformation scene when it happened, we all got choked up a little bit.
Yeah, well, because they didn't really have it in the '87 movie.
Right.
It was really not very well done.
Yeah,
He just goes,
absolutely.
you know, he breaks free and goes, "Oh, I have the power." That's it. This was literally a transformation. He's in Grayskull, everything. Like it's
Yeah,
just like, oh man, and what Travis Knight does his research that it has nothing to do with the sword. It's in him.
yeah.
I love that because remember what he said in the cartoon, by the powers invested to me or something like that.
By the
Not
powers, great. Yeah,
yeah, right. He's been given this power because he's true of heart, you know, like even at the end, he's not getting vengeance for his dad. He's not that kind of, he's this kind of male who, you know, is the only one who can really harness his power. He's the right person for the job. Like the sorceress says, it's not about muscles. It wasn't about a brute strength. It's about what he brings emotionally and all that. And
yeah.
I think that's great. His character, right?
100%. Yeah.
Um, Nicholas Galitzine said the day they filmed the transformation scene, the entire 400-person crew showed up to watch. I bet, man. That's everything. That's the it's like when the Hulk transforms, when whatever filmmaker does that, that's a big thing. It's a big thing, right, for that character too. But the transformation's everything in He-Man. That was like the whole thing we got excited about. He's gonna go transform into He-Man, right?
Yeah.
The scene where Skeletor tries using the sword that doesn't work was the funniest scene.
It was great. He was like a little kid throwing a fit because it
Yeah.
wouldn't work.
Yeah. And yeah, let's get into like He-Man and Skeletor here. We talked a bit about He-Man. I don't know if you want to add anything about He-Man in this?
No, I think I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. Skeletor. Skeletor. My God, I hope people shut up about Jared Leto now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he was in this suit. The only thing they CGI'd was the skull.
Yeah.
But he said, Travis Knight said, no, he was in that suit. It was made for him and everything. It's his movements, all this stuff. The only thing is, I had a hard time hearing him. I don't know if it's the theater speakers or me just going deaf with his accent and everything. There's sometimes I didn't know what he was saying a
There
few
were
times.
a couple times that, and I think by third viewing, I was able to, work everything out. But I do agree with you there as well, Jason. There were a couple lines that might not have been as clear as they could have been.
Yeah, so when you watch it on Amazon when it comes out, they might have subtitles, and
Yeah,
so I'll be interested to see what he's actually saying. I know I didn't miss the boobs when he's calling people boobs, which is
yeah,
that was awesome. But um, I don't know what to tell you, man. This guy, finally we have gotten a true villain where they're not trying to look at his humanity and try to uncover some kind of goodness him. No, I am the villain. And one of my favorite things he says, "What are you doing, boy? You think you're gonna find some kind of piece of goodness in me or something like that?" And he goes, "I am the villain." And
yeah.
then he's like, "Ugh." And boy, does it feel good. I shit you not. I was just like, yes, that is Skeletor.
Yes.
Like I was like, because we're always getting these villains now who are three-dimensional and have, they've always got some past that made them the villain. No, I'm just the villain.
Yeah.
Finally, a true villain like well, I don't want to say Darth Vader, but Darth Vader when we knew him as kids anyway, before there was the prequels.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Uh,
kind of funny you mentioned Vader though, because not that there were a lot of parallels to Star Wars in this movie, but there are times in this movie, especially when the collector Skeletor's ship lands and it opens and all the guards are lined to the side of the ship and stuff. That was a very, very reminiscent of Vader landing and walking out of his ship. There were a couple moments in this movie where I was like, "Oh, this kind of almost feels like a Motu Star Wars movie," if that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, I just love Skeletor in this, like the way he's like, when Beastman comes back and he's got his staff on him and he goes, what does he say? Closer or go kiss my feet or something down more. I can't remember. I just watched this twice, so I can't remember all his dialogue, um, but yeah, just fantastic. Like, is there any and let's talk about that poking the fun at the woke near the end where he
Uh
thinks he's killed He-Man and he's this like he's what is this? Human resources. Human resources.
huh. Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty fantastic the way he was doing everything, but and where he's like, you know, you have the power, but you're so afraid to use it. I'm not afraid. I just choose not to. And then he beats the shit out of him like a Rocky movie.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
absolutely. That scene
I'll
was
take that talk
legendary.
now.
Yeah.
Did you have any like what was some of your favorite Skeletor moments?
I mean, I really liked that they took the over exaggerations of all of his sayings and the way he would insult people, and his over exaggeration of his laugh and his laugh lasting too long. And I mean, they definitely hit all the beats of the cartoon and made it in movie form, and I thought it was great. I did really like the scene where he's in Adam's head. That was very unexpected, but I thought that it played out perfectly. It was great.
Yeah, I thought it was this fantastic, and Adam being a human resources person just cracked me up.
Absolutely.
He looks so unhappy. He's just like talking to like the way they're talking around each other. This going, okay, let's, the girl's like, let's just be calm.
Uh,
Don't go for that phone.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? It's like this the culture we live in today is just like you just can't say anything because someone's gonna be upset, right? You can't offend
absolutely.
anybody. And I just yeah, it's so funny. This is a really funny comment. If Jim Bro Skeletor and Human Resources Skeletor aren't the top two Halloween outfits this year, we failed as a society.
I have already thought about it.
I'll be Jim Bro. It's funny, man. Yeah, him just pulling the weights up was so funny. Like he's just lifting weights in the gym and everything. Um, Kiss My Grits also said, y'all noticed the marketing completely shifted to focus on Skeletor following the LA premiere and the near on unanimous reviews saying Skeletor stole the movie. Unfortunately, by then it was too late. Yeah, I mean, I think they may have missed the beat on marketing with this. I think they're probably gonna learn from it, and hopefully, if this gets traction, they'll market the next movie a lot better. I think Predator Badlands marketed their movie really well. Um, so I don't know. Like I mean, I'm a huge He-Man fan, and the trailers didn't sell me. I
Yeah.
just was
And I
it's
also think that, obviously they had to be careful pushing the whole like Jared Leto thing because of recent, accusations or whatever. So I feel like they definitely backed off on including him in any of the Hollywood. It was the purple carpet, not the red carpet, because of Skeletor. He wasn't at any of the promotional events or anything like that, and I think they wanted to distance themselves from that just to make sure it didn't get them any bad publicity.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But if you're not, I don't know, if you did not go see this movie because you have a thing against Jared Leto, I mean, I can separate the art from the artist or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I mean, he's a good actor, right? And I think he was pretty fantastic in this. And if there are
yeah,
more, obviously he has to come back, right? It's like it's a given.
absolutely.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Skeletor was just a freaking he was a coward and mean all at the same time. That's what I liked. Because in the cartoon, he's a coward. He's always running away and freaking, you know what I mean? Coming up with these plans to get rid of He-Man. And of course, I like was it the third post-credit scene? Yeah, the third one where Evil Lynn grabs the skull and everything. We get that laugh. That's pretty cool. But
Absolutely.
what'd you think of Evil Lynn in
I
this?
was actually about to ask you the same thing. So I like why can't I think of her name right now? Allison Brie. I like Allison Brie quite a bit. I really enjoyed Together last year. I'm not sure if you've seen that movie or not, but it's definitely worth a watch. Um, I definitely think that they captured Skeletor and Evil Lynn's relationship pretty well, because you almost kind of at times have that feeling like she almost kind of has a thing for Skeletor, and she almost kind of like deals with his verbal and mental abuse, but at the same time, you almost feel like she has something up her sleeve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think Meg Foster in the 87 one was really good too. I
Yeah,
think she played a great Evil Lynn. She had the look and everything. I really like what I saw. I liked her presence in this. There's obviously a lot more tongue in cheek things happening.
yeah.
Like when she tells Tila, like, let's have them duke it out. Let's go. Let's not do this. And Tila's not having anything of it, but it was pretty awesome. And even not only did the trailers did not sell me, I watched one clip before I saw the movie, like a week before I saw it, where it's like this is the crescendo when they're all
This
like
is the
laughing,
crescendo. Yeah, yeah,
and I'm like, no, this is not good. No, this is not going to work for me. I don't think. And
yeah.
when I watch it, it's like, see, we need context. You need context, and so when I watched it and seeing how they're playing this all out, the tone of it all, then I go, oh, it worked. It worked.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
everything's working because now if it would have been a serious movie and they shifted the stuff like it wouldn't have worked. It would have been like really jarring. But they knew the movie they were making. They knew exactly what kind of movie this was.
And you know what's funny about that scene too, Jason, is that like as the movie got closer and closer, we'd already gotten three trailers, and then they slowly started to release these short clips. And I don't think those short clips did any favors for the marketing. I think they should have left those out there, not put them online. One of them was the speeder bike moment whenever they're on the talent fighter, and Adam, accidentally backs it up instead of going
Right.
forward. The other one was this is the crescendo. There was like three of them total, and I was kind of like, you're putting too much out there without context. People might base their decision on these small clips.
Yeah, you don't think it matters, but I think all that stuff matters. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Um Now, and from what I've been gathering, a lot of people who uh, really like this. There's been a few things I've seen where like, oh god, I hated it. Like some people just didn't like it. I haven't been reading a lot of reviews though. I haven't seen many people dislike this movie. That's why it's weird to me that they're not going to see it because it's
yeah,
getting so much buzz from not just fans but just yeah. I took my kids to see it. They loved it. Wow, that was and I'm talking like people who had no faith in this.
yeah,
Where like they
yeah.
realized like wow, this is gonna be good. Um, but yeah, Kiss My Grits says, I wish the fight scene between Evil Lynn and Tila was longer. Yeah,
Absolutely.
she was great though on Earth, man, kicking Beastman's ass. And the freaking Amazon truck there smoking Beast.
Yeah. Yeah,
I see.
Tila sold the she stole the scene every time she was in a scene. She was very good in this movie.
Yeah, I think so many of them. What did you think about all the? What did you think of all that humor? Like, did all the humor land for you?
So I mean, there were definitely, I think they could have backed off after the first like maybe two fisting jokes. I think they could have probably left the last two fisting jokes off. And then, he says to Raman, he says, give him head or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like they're funny in a way, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, like maybe we could have backed off on those a little. They don't bother me that much, but I could see them bothering other people. And like we talked about the scene whenever they're doing the warrior walk, and the smoke starts to bellow and they all start to cough and puke and this and that definitely threw me off. But I did hear that there is a possibility there was a cut scene in the Stinkor, who was the skunk character from the toy, the action figures, who smells like patchouli and puts off the scent of a skunk, was originally supposed to appear in that scene. I don't know if that's true or that's not true, but I'm hoping if it is, we get it on the DVD or the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I hope there's some added scenes, like
Yeah,
maybe some scenes they left off the cutting room floor for sure. Um, and I'm the same with you. The first time I watched it, I thought a lot of the humor was in the wrong places. But the second time, I just kind of just I knew what I was expecting now, and I went for the ride,
Yeah,
I guess. But there are a few scenes that I thought, okay, this is supposed to be kind of a heartfelt moment, and you're kind of adding a really bad joke. Not a bad joke, but just you're adding too much humor into it. Like especially when you got Princes of the Universe playing and they're all coming out, and then you do that. With the coughing on the smoke and everything. I'm just like,
yeah,
I don't know if that worked for me.
yeah,
Um, and I especially like their outfits at the end, like in the cartoon, where
yeah.
they're all in their decked out gear. And I loved how they did that. And remember in the cartoon, they'd always laugh.
And do the
Yeah, yeah. And they're all doing that. I'm like, oh, bro,
yeah.
this is what a nice touch.
Yeah,
And
the last, like, literally that whole scene, and there's people that have complained about that scene and have been like, um him giving himself the name He-Man and him giving Tila the name Goddess Warrior and all that. There have been some reviewers that I have watched that have taken all that and been like, they are poking fun at the franchise itself, making fun of the name He-Man, all this stuff, blah blah blah. And me, as a huge He-Man fan, I never took it that way. I thought it was a fun time, a good joke, and there's some people that want to take it to that level of like they're making fun of the property that they're making a movie about. And I never took it that way.
the cartoon wasn't serious. It was absolutely absurd, and ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like it's a character named He-Man. You know what I mean? Uh, I thought it was this paying homage to everything really, really well. Especially you get
same.
Urko at the end. And so if
Yeah,
we don't ever get a sequel, at least you have Urko. At least you saw a glimpse of Shira.
right.
I just man, we needed more Cringer. Please tell me
Yeah,
we. I think if anything, I wanted a lot more, especially in the Battle Cat armor.
yeah.
Like,
So I was convinced there at the end, after, well, not the very end, but once the sword was shattered and it came back and, came into pieces again, and Adam held the sword up for the, last time. I told my son in the theater, I was like, oh, he's about to point at Battle Cat and he's going to turn him into Battle Cat, because I thought we were going to see it on screen. And I was disappointed we didn't.
yeah, I agree with you on all that. Like, I like when he rode out with them, and they have
Yeah,
that freeze frame of that nice artwork. My
yeah,
such a great shot to end it on. But yeah, I wanted to see kind of like I have the power,
yeah,
but and clearly we have to get that in the second one if there is one.
for sure.
Um, so I'm very like I said, I'm confident we are going to get another one. Um, Kiss My Grid says the friend zone scene between He-Man and Tila was great. Yeah, it was.
It
Come
was
on,
great.
Tila. He-Man just lifted an entire ship for you with one hand. You couldn't at least give him a peck on the cheek. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Um, he says the give him head scene made me laugh. Yeah, it was funny. I thought it was funnier the second time. The stinky rumor is true because test audience saw him. Okay, there you go, Chris.
Nice.
We'll have to see that test audience thing when it comes out on Blu-ray or whatever. Regarding the bad humor and faults to the script, let's not forget that Travis Knight was working from the Nee Brothers Netflix script, which he admitted they decided to keep several scenes. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Okay.
much about behind the scenes stuff. Um, but yeah, but the world building was all great too, and all that. Any other characters that you want to talk about?
Well, so obviously behind Orko in the PSA, you did see Merman, or it wasn't necessarily Merman, but one of his race on the back right. It was a very small glimpse of him. And then they do reference at the end of the movie um, that they had gotten a call from Avion, which was Stratos's community. Do you remember Stratos? He was the guy with the goggles and the wings and the
Oh,
gray. You would
rarely.
totally remember him. So there were a couple people I would have liked to see more of. Goatman was kind of a deep cut as well, but I thought Triclops was used sparingly. I would have liked to see a little bit more of him. But like I said, in my opinion, between Beastman, Skeletor, and Trapjaw, those three were amazing.
Yeah, Trapjaw really was. And I thought the look of Man at Arms was awesome. I thought it
Yeah,
was spot on.
yeah.
Um, and what's the actor's name again? Big
Uh,
actor.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, yeah. I thought he
Yeah,
was perfect in that
I
role.
thought he was great, and there were so many people that were really upset because of the race swap. And
It's a
I
toy.
don't. What's that?
It's a toy.
I know.
Sometimes I can understand race swapping to a certain degree,
Yeah,
right? Like, are you ever gonna make Apollo Creed white? No, you're not,
absolutely.
right?
That
But
is my you are on the same wavelength as me. There's certain ones you can do, certain ones you can't. As far as Man at Arms, it didn't make a difference. He was amazing in the role. And then there's people that are like, "Oh, how is Tila his daughter?" I'm like, "Have you never heard about adoption before?"
yeah, 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 right. I don't even know in the like. Yeah, that stuff that didn't bother me in this movie. Any of that stuff. That's just because every movie is Disney's famous for doing a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean. But it didn't bother me at all. I thought Man at Arms was freaking awesome. Mecha Neck, I thought he looked really cool.
I thought
You
he
know what
was
I mean?
great.
Um, even the king, like the father, I thought he was great.
King
You know what I
Randor
mean?
looked amazing. Yeah,
He looked something out of Lord of the Rings, man. I was like,
yeah.
um, did you like the lasers in Skeletor's eyes?
I
But
thought that I his whole design I thought was amazing.
it was killer.
I liked the red dots. I liked all that. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Let me get this one. Thanks a lot, Kiss My Grits, for getting into the conversation with us. It's feels like you're here. Tim Sheridan, who wrote the Wings of Fate comic, saw both the Knee Brothers script and the final script, and he said Chris Butler rewrote should be taught in film schools. The Netflix version was bad. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, I
Now
don't
I'm gonna
know.
read that comic book after I get off of here tonight. Yeah, nice.
I couldn't have said that better. Kiss My Grits. All the characters look great. It was like the '80s cartoon came to life.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, any other because you're really in tune with the He-Man lore and the He-Man cartoon. I haven't actually watched it in years, but were there any other Easter eggs that maybe I didn't pick up on? Because
So
probably
I
didn't.
do feel like there was something else that we talked about Karg being from the 87 movie.
Yeah,
I was trying to think of we mentioned the oh, okay. So you remember the pig boy that woke
that's
up
it.
Skeletor?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So the lore behind Pig Boy is there was a kid that won a contest for the 1987 movie. Um, and if you won the contest, you got to go on the set of the 1987 movie, and you were going to be able to be put into a bit part. Um, well, he showed up when the filming was almost done or whatever. So they put this little boy into a pig costume in the 1987 movie. They give him a staff, and you can barely see him in the film. You can see him, but he's barely in there. So Pig Boy was given a bigger role for this movie since he wasn't given a big role in the 1987 movie.
they got to bring the cosmic key back.
Yeah, I know. Oh, so Gwildor as well. Did you notice, Jason, in the credits that Gwildor's not his shadow, but his the like drawing of him was in the credits. Gwildor was.
I didn't pick up on that. Like, there's
Yeah,
probably a lot of things in here that we might be missing,
yeah,
um, that are relevant
yeah.
in all the lore. The '87 movie. I mean, I mean, Dolph Lundgren's the big one, right? That stares
Yeah,
out like a that's obviously a huge um just a respect thing. I I like how Travis Knight honored that movie.
yeah,
I thought, even though it was a box office bomb, it didn't do well. No one really a lot of people just laugh at the movie, but there's still fans. It's still a cult classic, and I like how he still honored it
yeah.
in the best way he could, right? Would it be hilarious? Courtney Cox had a role in like
Yeah.
a sequel or something, you know what I mean?
So someone pointed out that her name was Julie in the 1987 movie, and the
Right?
girl that he was on a date with at the diner, her name was Julie.
Maybe, yeah, maybe
Yeah,
that's you could be
maybe a
right.
slight nod, you know?
Yeah. What did you think about his the buddy watching The Notebook all the time? Oh, hey,
Uh,
hey, bro, what's going on? So I thought that was
I thought
funny.
that that was actually quite funny. I actually, as much as a lot of people did not like the Earth stuff, it didn't bother me much. Whenever he falls asleep at night, there's a little like orchestra version of the song Boys Don't Cry by The Cure. And then whenever he wakes up in the morning, the full song of Boys Don't Cry by The Cure is playing, which is a song I love. And then he's just having this day where he's just going through like every day, BS life that we all go through.
Yeah.
And, he wants to find this thing so bad. And the whole interactions at work and stuff I thought were funny. Whenever he goes to the comic shop, like we talked about, which is another little Easter egg, when he goes to the comic shop is called the Fright Zone, which is where Hordak and like all his villains from She-Ra were from, or the Fright Zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Any other favorite moments in the movie
I
that
mean,
stick out?
I'll tell you what, Jason, like I said, I've seen it 3 times. I saw it once with my son, twice by myself. And the last 2 times I saw it, and especially the third time, I literally cuddled up in my seat. I felt like I needed to have a bowl of cereal with me. And it's just like this comfort movie for me that makes me happy and brings me everything I've wanted for a Masters of the Universe movie for the last 40 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just put every scene with Skeletor. I'm just like think it's just awesome. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He's just larger than life, that character, and I think you had to nail him right. Um, yeah, I mean, it was just this great, man. All right, Kiss by Grit says Easter eggs. There is NASA helmet and Queen Marlena's suit in the opening scene. Skeletor's hologram scene was a nod to the '87 movie. Okay, never picked up on
Absolutely.
that.
Yep.
He-Man uses the cartoon intro dialogue when they arrive at Snake Mountain. Oh, okay. I gotta watch it again now, guys. I'm going tonight. No,
Oh,
joking.
hey, something else. And kiss my grits. Tell me if you saw this when you saw the movie, because I have seen it 3 times and I did not spot this. But Hordak used to have these robots and they were called hoverbots. And supposedly in the final battle with Fisto and Ram Man and all of them, when they're taking out the skeleton warriors or whatever, supposedly Fisto punches a hoverbot, and there's a screenshot of it on Facebook. And the fact that I have not caught it and I've seen the movie 3 times blows my mind. At first, I thought it was AI, but supposedly it is legitimate. And I guess they were originally going to have more hoverbots in the scene, but they like took them out during post credit or whatever. But
Right,
they did leave one hoverbot in there.
right. Yeah, man. It's just a fan. It was just a like a. I'm glad He-Man fans got their time in the sun.
Yeah,
Fun, and this I think it's so good to see another fandom out there that's not overdone. It's fresh. That you finally got your movie. You know what I mean? I mean, people we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like it's like waiting for a really good GI Joe movie because the other
yeah,
two aren't good, or not great anyway. Like
yeah.
didn't perform that well. Um, but yeah, I mean, now where do you? I mean, we got a glimpse of Shira,
Right.
right? Now you got to forgive me. I don't even remember Shira's story. I don't remember. I know they're cousins, right?
They're actually brother and
Brother,
sister.
sister. Sorry, I'm thinking
They
of
were
Supergirl.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're good. You're good. They were separated. Adora, which is She-Ra's name, was taken in by Hordak, which is like the main villain of the Horde, who is who I really, really hope we see in the sequel. But he took her away and trained her as kind of like one of his soldiers. And then when she received her like sort of power, she kind of found out that Hordak was bad, and then raised her sword to the sky and said, let me think. Um, it's not by the power of Grayskull. It's I can't remember exactly how it goes, but she says, "I am She-Ra," and then she turns into She-Ra. So
Now,
they're brother and sister who have been separated.
so where do you think this is going then? If they like, I know Travis Knight says he's got things mapped out, but where do you think they're going to go with this? Obviously, Shira is going to be a big character in it.
I would love to see in the sequel, because Hordak was also She-Ra's main villain, was actually more powerful than Skeletor, and Skeletor was a like kind of a minion of Hordak's at one point in time. So I think it'd be really interesting to see He-Man and She-Ra hook up, have Hordak be in there, and then have someone who was more powerful than Skeletor kind of put Skeletor in his place and make Skeletor bow down a little bit more.
Okay, okay. I just hope I hope we get another one. That's what I do
Yeah,
hope. And I hope we get. I don't know. I'd like to see it. Because if they plan a trilogy, your second chapter should be the darkest one, and it
right,
should end on a good cliffhanger, like Empire Strikes Back. Right.
right.
That's the the model I'll use, the blueprint. And if we're going that direction, I'd like to see Adam be more developed in the sense that kind of lose the immaturity a little. Have him fight.
Right.
I would say have him playing that facade, but he's a really mature He-Man. I don't know if I want to say mature really, but he's just, I want to see a sense of character development in him, and it's not like this movie.
Yeah,
I want to see it progress a little in that sense, and if we get a third movie, we could wrap it all up. If it's a planned trilogy anyway.
yeah. A little less of a dopey He-Man, because at times, even after he transformed into He-Man, he was a little bit on the dopey side, which, I mean, he's learning his powers, so that's fine.
Yeah, I think you need to start that movie out with him changing, and wow, this is He-Man now. This is like almost like Clark Kent turning into Superman. This
Yeah,
is Superman.
yeah,
This is not a little awkward Clark Kent guy, you know what I mean? Even though it's a facade he's playing, when he turns into He-Man, um him and Cringe are just tearing it up, and he's really that man now. He's the He-Man, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Um Kiss My Grit says yes, the hoverbots are there, but they're very hard to see because of the editing.
Okay.
Also, the crescendo scene when Skeletor raises his fist, you can see a drawing of Merman's face on the ground next to him. Plus, a fully costume merman is in the background during Orko's scene. You're paying attention, my friend. And he says she for the honor of Grayskull.
For the honor of Grayskull, that was driving me nuts. I am
Um,
She-Ra.
Given the third post-credit scene when Evelyn, I think the sequel will have the Horde invade Eternia after Evelyn makes a deal with Hordak to help revive Skeletor. Well, that makes sense. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
that perfectly make. But I mean, we still got to have Skeletor. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We got to have both of them in there. And have the brother and sister reunited. And who you think? I know Travis Knight says he already has his eye on who would play Shira.
Yeah.
But who do you think would be a good Shira?
That's such a hard call for me because I don't want it to be somebody like I want it to be somebody who's not too pretty, but I also Shira has to be pretty,
Yeah.
but I want her to be maybe a middle of the road actress who's not too famous. Like I know a lot of people were like Sydney Sweeney. No, please no.
No,
you
no, no,
know?
no.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
too
no.
popular now. And
Yeah, exactly.
you know what everyone's gonna be expecting when they see Sydney Sweeney in the movie.
Yes, no,
She's gonna
absolutely.
be
Which
all cleavage, and that's not
yeah,
really what this is. Like,
yeah, no, 100%. So I don't know. I think I'd have to put a little bit of thought behind that one. But I mean, hey, maybe we could do Samara Weaving. I love Samara Weaving. So
nah, yeah, yeah, I can see that. I really don't have an answer for you. I haven't thought about who would make um a good Shira. I really don't. So, um, because they just had her. Did you know too that was a pickup shot? They
I
ran out of
I
money. They
I
ran out of money.
did, and I actually heard that the actress got in trouble that did that little scene because I guess right before the movie or the day the movie was released, she actually posted a picture of her in the She-Ra costume on like Instagram or something, and
Oh,
like
that's not.
she got a lot of people that were very upset with her.
Well, she would have had to sign an NDA,
Yeah. Well, and
and
I don't know what she did, but maybe she went across or against it, but she posted something and it ruffled some feathers for sure.
oh god, yeah, you can't do stuff like that, man.
Which, speaking of spoilers, and I mean, this is something I think that maybe you and I have talked about, or I might have told you this, but I was not able to see the movie until Friday, and there were early screenings on Wednesday. Um, Wednesday night, whenever I was at work, I pulled up my Facebook and there was a photo of the Orko scene. And I literally screamed in my office because I was so upset that some asshole would spoil a scene the on an early release night. People
Yeah,
need to
that's
stop
insane.
that stuff, you
That's
know,
insane. Well, the theater was so empty when I saw it. I could have had my phone and just started,
filming. Yeah.
right, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, you're the way I see it, you're just denying yourself a great time at the movies. Like I haven't been like I just don't go to the movies that often, and now I'm like I'm going. Yeah, I told my son, "What do you want to see?" I said, "Do you like?" He wants to go see the Tom and Jerry movie coming out. He wants to go see the Wild Coyote movie coming out.
Yeah.
My other son wants to go see Spider Man. It just got me in the mood to go to the movies again. That
Absolutely.
I'm just
Yeah.
not because everything is just overhyped for me, and everything's just like I feel like I'm wasting. Like I'm not having this kind of a good time when I go. It's not
Yeah.
these kind of movies. It's like when I saw The Fall Guy, I thought that was a great tribute to the 80s, like a great fun action movie with a lot of comedy in it. The rumor mill on Reddit says Daisy Edgar Jones is on Travis Knight's radar for Shira. I do not know who that is. Um, Daisy Edgar Jones. I'll have to look her up. Um, I've seen some people say maybe Margot Robbie, but
Oh,
she's kind of popular too.
yeah. No.
But she could do it. I mean, for sure. But um, right, I think I agree with you. I think we need someone maybe not too popular yet, not unpopular. Someone kind of like the Camilla Mendez, right? I recognized her, but I didn't really know who she was. I was
Right.
like, who played Tila. Oh, and a lot of them in the movie.
Yeah.
You kind of recognize them, but who's that again? Kind of thing. So
Even the main lead, Nicholas,
I
I
didn't know who
mean,
he was.
I don't really know him from much. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to, really search. There's so many to pick from. I mean, you just if you watch enough shows and everything like that, there's so many actors and actresses out there. Um, for sure. I think you need someone athletic, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Chris, that's all I got for the movie. I mean, I
Yeah,
think it's it's great. It was a great movie. It's my favorite movie so far of this year. I haven't seen much though either, but I think I don't know. You're gonna have to show me a pretty awesome time at the movies to top that.
yeah.
Um, but
And
yeah,
Jason, like I really I'm on Facebook a lot and I post about movies and you follow me on Facebook, so you know that I go quite often to movies. It's kind of my thing. And it's a shame how many people I see that post like, "Oh, I would love to go see this at the theater, but I'm just going to wait until it starts streaming." Or it's too expensive to go to the theater, blah blah blah, all this, at the end of the day, if you find those movie times that are maybe the matinees on Tuesday that are, $5 to get in, or you really want to support something, like I can guarantee these people that are saying it's too expensive to go to the movies probably have 5 subscriptions that they're paying for every month that they watch 2 movies on.
yeah,
I really would like to see people get out there and start supporting theaters because I mean it's kind of scary for movies in general.
yeah. I mean, like when it's something I really want to see do well, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
Like I'll be honest with you, I won't. I'll likely wait for Supergirl, but um, I went and saw Superman.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Now I did
yeah.
go see it twice. No, because it wasn't as good as I had in my mind. I thought it was gonna.
Agreed. Yeah,
But something like this where it just blew me. I was just like, I can't believe this was this good.
yeah,
Like I just can't believe it. It's a surprise. It was such a surprise because I thought this was gonna like I knew it wouldn't do well financially, but I thought it was gonna bomb with the audiences. I thought they were just gonna, but it hasn't. It
yeah.
hasn't bombed with the audiences. Um, so I'm pretty happy about that. Fun fact: I read that Justin Mark's script from 2008 that he wrote for Warner Brothers called Grayskull. It's a very dark, gritty, and violent. He-Man and Castle Grayskull don't appear until the last 15 minutes. Ooh,
Interesting.
that's an interesting take. I would like to see a gritty, serious take on this story.
Yeah,
Like I've watched one YouTuber say like almost like a Lord of the Rings tone
right.
to these characters. I go, yeah, I would definitely love to see something like that one day. But what we got, I'm okay with,
Yeah, agreed.
right? And I thought a too comedic of a He-Man wouldn't work, but this guy somehow, Travis Knight, made it work. Um, I still think Bumblebee is the best Transformers movie.
100%. And you know what's funny about that is that I waited until that movie came out and probably waited a couple years because I'd kind of been so burnt out on what
Yeah,
happened with the Transformers like franchise. And whenever I finally watched it, I was just like, "Oh my god." And I loved it.
are there any upcoming films you want to see this year?
So being the like horror movie guy that I am, I'm really excited about Evil Dead Rise coming out. That's probably the next big one that I'm looking forward to. Um, my son wants to go see the new Jackass, so I'll probably go see see the new Jackass with him. Um, but like I'm always looking for something, and like I said, I always make a kid's day out of it, and just try to spend a couple hours detached from reality.
Yeah, yeah. What I do is every paycheck I go. So our theater's called Cineplex up here.
Okay.
It's Canadian chain.
Uh,
We have a Landmark too, but we have what we call Cineplex. So they sell gift cards for these. So what I do is every paycheck I just buy $50 to $100
yeah.
and I put it on my phone, and then I go, okay, guys, or I'll tell my wife, "Would you let's go see a movie?"
Yeah.
Because of this movie now. I've gotten so excited to go to the movies again. And
Yeah.
being a movie reviewer, you think I'd go all the time, but I do old movies. That's the
Yeah.
whole idea. But um, and there's like my son wants to see the new Spider-Man. That was always one we were going to see.
Yeah.
I'd still like to go see Obsession.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
might I'm on holidays next week, so I might just nip out during the day and go see it.
So,
So
Jason, I'll tell you what, besides Masters, which is like obviously probably going to be in my top two of the year, I will tell you because, and that's a lot of it has to do because of my obsession with Masters of the Universe. Obsession is probably my favorite actual like film of the year. It is so good, man.
yeah, I hope it's not overhyped because uh, I wasn't that big on long legs. I wasn't
Yeah,
that
yeah,
big on this on the substance, and I just
yeah,
kept people keep telling me to go see these things,
yeah.
and I'm like, I'm not that impressed, but I think this is the real deal. This one,
I think that this
um,
is the real deal, and I hope that I don't overhype it for you either, but I love it.
yeah, I'd definitely like to see that one. But honestly, the summer is not looking very good.
Yeah,
It feels like a weak summer for movies this year, but in the fall, like we're gonna be getting there's some horror stuff coming out, like Werewolf by
yeah,
Robert Eggers.
yeah,
There's Ty West is doing the Christmas Carol, a horror
right.
like a that's one I'm really excited for with Johnny Depp playing Scrooge.
Yeah,
Um oh there's an action movie that's buzzing about called Onslaught in September
okay,
by Adam Wingard.
okay.
Is that his name?
I'm not
Oh,
100%.
he did
Yeah.
Godzilla versus he did You're Next.
Oh, okay, okay,
Like
gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I like your next.
so he's doing this action movie called Onslaught, and it's got T2 vibes. Like, I mean, just
Okay.
in the way it's shot, that looks really good. So, oh, Kiss My Grits, Clayface. That's another one I think
Oh,
is gonna
Clayface.
be
Yes, absolutely.
cool.
Yeah,
Kiss My Grits said one thing Amazon marketing should have done, partnered with General Mills to do Saturday morning serial screenings for family kids. Yeah, I think they should have done a lot. I didn't notice a ton of marketing with this movie. Like, not as I mean, the trailers and everything, but it should have been on buses and everywhere. It should have been, like, planted in your face everywhere, but, like, one of the problems with it too, I think, is we're 20 years too late.
yeah,
So they got a big I think they do have a big hill to climb
yeah.
because the
They
kids are
did.
like, "Who are these characters?" Like,
It's it's kind of funny to me too, Jason, because the marketing or the tie-ins that they did for this movie were a little bit funny. Like they did here in the States, they did oh Krispy Kreme donut. They did Denny's. They did a cat treat tie-in that I actually have a sign from that I got from Walmart. But like they did these really odd tie-ins for like product placement that I'm like, why would you do Denny's? Nobody goes to Denny's anymore. Why would you do a donut tie-in? Like that's not going to do a whole lot. And then, why would you do a cat tie-in for cat treats?
that's true. Kiss My Grace says, "What do y'all think about DC giving us a horror version of Clayface? It's coming out in October." I'm down because Mike Flanagan wrote the script for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He wanted to direct it, but he was too busy. He loved the Batman animated cartoon when he was growing up. Because he's part of Mike Flanagan's like our generation. And he's actually my favorite filmmaker. I think he's an absolute freaking stroke of genius.
Yeah,
All those TV shows I love, everything. But anyways, then the studio got new director and it got I don't know how much of his script is in the final product. So, but it still looks like it's going to be good.
nice.
So, yeah, I'm excited about there's a bunch I've seen. I was looking up the upcoming movies and there's always going to be those surprises in there that you're like, "Wow, I didn't who saw that movie coming," right?
Yeah,
So, it's just for blockbuster fun movies. It doesn't look very stacked this year,
yeah.
but we'll see. All right, guys, we hit an hour and a half. That's usually the time I like to check out.
No, that's perfect, man.
Let's
Well,
get-
thanks for having me, Jason. I was excited about this, man.
yeah, me too. You're my He-Man guy, so I gotta always chat up the He-Man, and I'll probably go in to see Evil Dead as well. I'm really
Yeah,
excited to see the next Evil Dead movie, but that's Masters of the Universe. I've already done a review on the channel. This is the deep dive. If you like older movies and all that kind of stuff, please subscribe to the channel. Doing a lot of stuff like that. We got a bunch of stuff coming up here and there. Everyone, I got a big horror podcast coming up called Slash and Talk in August. So check me out for that. Chris is on TikTok. You're not on. Are you on Instagram or no?
I'm not really on Instagram. I do a little bit of TikTok still, but I'm so busy in life. But you can
Yeah,
still look me up at Christopher's Collection on TikTok. I do some toy reviews, toy videos, stuff like that. So check me out.
it's awesome, man. Awesome. And yeah, so you guys been watching Backtrack Cinema. Thank you for everyone who popped in. Thank you so much, Kiss My Grits. I think this is the first time I've seen you even in my channel. So you just must have saw the algorithms working, I guess, that if it popped up in your feed. Thank you so much for getting into our conversation. It was like having you a third person there bouncing off of. So that's pretty awesome. So again, guys, everyone have a good night. I will see you on the next one and see you in the movies. Cheers.
Peace.